Okay, so this video is going to look at some problems involving laws of exponents and how you would use laws of exponents to write answers to problems. First one we look at, we're going to do 9 to the power of 5 times 9 to the power of 8. Now in the first video on laws of exponents and in class I explained that when you multiply two terms which have the same base number, what you do is you add the exponents. Okay, so that would be 9 to the 5 times 9 to the 8. The base number stays the same, still 9, and we add the exponents, 9 to the power of 13. Now that's what it means. It means that you just want to write the answer with an exponent in it. You don't want to evaluate it, you want to just simplify it. So how does this work? Well, if you expand this here, 9 to the power of 5, you get 9 by 9 by 9 by 9 and so on 5 times. If you expand this, you get 9 by 9 by 9 8 times, and we're multiplying both of those. So you'll see that we have a string of 13 9s which are being multiplied together, which is why we get 9 to the power of 13. Okay, next one. If we look at, so we'll do 2 to the 12 over 2 to the minus 3. Okay, so in this case, because it's an exponent, we subtract them. So what you would get here is the base number stays the same, it's 2, and you do 12 minus 3, which is 2 to the power of 15. Okay, that's just because we're dividing, we subtract the exponents. Now you have to be careful when there's minuses involved, but in red here I'm going to do a quick explanation of how that comes about, or how this answer, how we get it. So if you just bear with me for a second, you'll see. Okay, if we have 2 to the power of 12 divided by 2 to the power of minus 3, that's 2 to the power of 12. Okay, instead of writing it as a fraction, I'm just going to write it like division. 2 to the power of minus 3, okay, which is 2 to the 12 divided by, well, 2 to the minus 3 is 1 over 2 to the power of 3. Okay, now you're multiplying, or sorry, you're dividing by a fraction, so we do keep, change, flip, okay, and now we're back to what is a multiplication problem, and 2 to the 12 times 2 to the power of 3 is 2 to the power of 15 by adding the exponents. Okay, and again by expanding that you'll see. So this is just a quick explanation of how that answer comes about. But really all you need to remember is that if it's division, which can be written with the division symbol like it is here, or it can be written as a fraction like it is here, you just look for the same base numbers and subtract the exponents. Okay, here's a quick spot the error problem. What error did the student make in this situation here? Well, for one thing, are the base numbers the same? If the base numbers aren't the same, then that can't be made any simpler. Because that's 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3 3s. Okay, expand it out, it gets to that. Collect them back, yeah, 4 to the power of 5 times 3 to the power of 3. It can't be made any simpler because there's no way we can make that any simpler than it is. But watch, what did the student do in this case? The mistake that the student made here was they multiplied 4 times 3 and they got 12. And then they added the exponents and they got an 8. But you never multiply the base numbers like that. Okay, you never multiply them together. Next one. Remember, all these problems, what's good about the laws of exponents is that they can all be done by expanding, really. Okay, so if you have like 12 to the power of 4, this is a power to a power. So 12 to the power of 4 is 12 by 12 by 12 by 12. And we have that 3 times. So if you look, the question, when I did the video, the first video, I told you when you have a power to a power, you multiply the exponents in this case. So it's going to be 12 to the power of 12. But if you work it out, if you expand it like I'm going to do in red, well, 12 to the power of 4 is 12 by 12 by 12 by 12. And it turns out, look, to the power of 3 means we're going to have that multiplied by itself 3 times. Okay, so we're going to have this times itself again, which means we're going to have a string of 12 12s being multiplied. And that's why we get what we get. Okay, this one. A product to a power. Now, there's 2 ways to do this, but I'm going to show you the way that I want it done. First of all, people will say that this is 5 times 7 is 35 to the power of 6, and that's the answer. And it is. But also, what it means is the following. We can also say, in this case, say that the 6 acts on the 5, so it's 5 to the power of 6 times 7 to the power of 6. Okay, and that's it written using the exponent rule. So you should write that step first and then go to 35 to the power of 6. Really, it's this part here I'm interested in. This part is you showing that you know that the power acts on both numbers inside. Okay, let's move on. Another one, very easy one. We've done this before, so this shouldn't be difficult. This is just as simple as, it basically means 1 over 6 times 1 over 6 and so on, and you're going to have it 4 times. So it's going to be 1 to the power of 4 over 6 to the power of 4. Basically means that the 4 acts on the top and the bottom of the fraction. This is it written in exponent form. I don't want it evaluated. You can just leave it as 6 to the power of 4. And our final one, again, something we've seen already, very, very easy. So remember, I want it left in exponent form, so what does the minus mean? The minus, to remove the minus, we flip the fraction. Okay? And then we remember that the 4, because it's a fraction to a power, the 4 acts on the top, so we have 5 to the power of 4 over 2 to the power of 4. And that's it in exponent form. We don't want a numerical answer. Okay, so there's some practice problems up on Moodle underneath the link for this video, so you can work on the worksheet, and we're going to build through this slowly because it's quite a challenging section.